Not right, right? Not fair. The workday was 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., so 12 hours. And those guys hired first didn't get any more, and the guys hired last at 5 o'clock, 1 hour's of work, and they got the same pay. So the first hired were expecting a whole bunch, and they got the same daily wage. That just doesn't seem right, does it? Well, but it's what they agreed to, so it was just. And I think Matthew was really talking to Matthew's situation. He had a thing with the Jewish Christians and the Gentile Christians. The Jewish Christians had been hired at 6 a.m. They had been with the God for a long time. And along came the Gentiles later on. Paul kind of got them in. They were hired maybe at 9 o'clock. So Matthew is saying, God chooses to give to them whatever God chooses to give to them. Now, when were we hired? 3 o'clock? 5 o'clock? Probably. So God is telling us that it'd be nice to be generous, nice to be grateful for all that He has given us. I think we Americans particularly like to think about what we don't have and what we want and what everybody else has, all those richer people, whatever, instead of spending time being grateful for what we do have. I think the Lord wants us to develop that habit of gratefulness all through the day, just grateful for little things, or things we may think are little. To be grateful for the sun shining today. Pretty nice. Changes our moods. Thankful that we don't live in the land of hurricanes. Thankful for so many things that we don't even think about very often, or maybe never at all. To be thankful always for all the blessings that God has given us. And how do we show that we're thankful really? By being generous, by giving away a lot of what we have to the poor and those who have less. Which reminds me of the Catholic Parishes campaign. Did you see that coming? Every year we have the Catholic Parishes campaign, and we usually have it during Lent. And this year during Lent, a couple of people said, are you having that again this year? What happened? Most people didn't think about it, and some people just kept real quiet. Thinking maybe it had gone away. Well, the diocese changed the schedule. Some parishes did it during Lent, but most parishes are now doing it during this time. And so it's our time. Now, a lot of people think of the Catholic Parishes campaign as some burden from somewhere, and it's paying somebody else. But let me tell you, in our parish, we have a lot of services, a lot of things we do for people, but there are some things we can't do, some things that are bigger. And we pool together with the other parishes in the diocese to be able to afford those things. And we have a video that has a couple of people giving witness to what they have received through the Catholic Parishes campaign. So these are our people telling about what they have gotten. Are we ready, gang? Let her rip. Whoops. Oh, that's me. Oh, there we go. Okay, good.
Thinking in terms of how the CPC has benefited myself and my family over the years, there's been countless ways, especially since we've been involved here at All Saints Parish. But more recently, in the past several years, I would say when we talk about family faith formation, we've been involved in that for about 15 years now, because our oldest son, Landon, who's 15 now, we brought him to our first family faith formation meeting in a car carrier. So you can see that we've been involved in that, and Jade and Reagan have been brought up in the same time. The older two are moving on to Edge and Life Teen, but Reagan is still involved, and we're all still involved in the family faith, and it is a great program. In terms of Christy and myself are sponsor couples for couples who are engaged to be married and preparing for marriage through the Catholic faith. And they have one of two choices. They can go to a weekend retreat, which I believe is held out at the Sarto Center, or they can choose to go the route of sponsor couples. And that is a 6 to 7 week session in which we coach them through a book that is provided to us and to them through the diocese that gets them ready for marriage. And it covers everything that I think they need to benefit from the program, to whether it be finances and spirituality especially. And not only does it help them, that is the main focus, that it helps them, but we revisit it every time that we do it as well to enrich our marriage too. And then from the standpoint of like scouting, in Boy Scouts, we have the larger entity and the BSA that supports our local troop. We have our own activities that we do, but we have the support of the larger council, the BSA. And same thing here at All Saints with CPC. We have our own activities and programs and all that we do here, but they are supported by the CPC. And we have benefited greatly from those programs, and I think we will continue to benefit from those programs. And the Boy Scouts have a retreat every year out at Sarto Center where boys from all over the diocese come in for a weekend retreat. It starts on Friday evening and it ends with Mass with the Bishop on Sunday afternoon or late morning. And it's just a wonderful experience for the boys that it helps to promote their faith as well within the confines of the scouting program, which reverence is one of the scout laws. So the CPC has been a great supporter for me and my family throughout the time that we've been involved in All Saints Parish, and I see that will continue, and I encourage everybody to support this program and do whatever you can to help fund this program.
I've had the privilege of being a part of the youth of the diocese for a few years now, and with that I've been able to go to TEC, the NCYC Youth Conference up in Indianapolis, and a lot of other youth are able to go on the March for Life that happens in January. I personally reap the benefits from the Catholic Parishes campaign through USI's Newman Catholic Community. We do a lot of service in the community, and we're able to do catechesis for all the college students at USI, UE, and at Vincennes University through the money from the Catholic Parishes campaign. We also were able to take a trip last spring break to go down to Knoxville, Tennessee to work in a homeless shelter for the elderly, and we were able to buy supplies to help paint and restore some of the rooms that they had, and it was very beneficial for us who were able to go, but also to those that we got to help.